Hello everybody, it's your boy Ian here. I'm coming at you guys with another YouTube video, and as you can see from this little intro right here, we have made it so that KEELAN's dashing is completely and utterly infinite. You can non-stop spam this dash as much as you want, and there is literally no cooldown, no repercussion. It is insane. So let's get right on into the build. Now for the build, this is what we are going to go with. We are going to be using our second ability, which is the Onslaught, the dash ability, and we're going to use it 5 times to instantly gain access to our third ability. Once we have our third ability on, we are literally just going to activate it straight away. What this does is basically give you infinite period of time to use your second ability. The standard time is 4 seconds. Our instance, we have 7 seconds. Well, 8 seconds. So you can spam your second ability infinitely and zip as much as you want and dash everywhere as much as you want for 8 seconds straight. Then you just reactivate your third ability once it's cooled down and you're good to go. So the way we built this is for duration as well as damage, primarily damage though. So we've got focus on singular and we've got focus on toxic. Then same to back it up, we've got the amplifications for the exact same thing. Toxic and singular amplification. Then we've gone with extension for more duration on the third ability, of course, and then expansion to help with the AoE of this, as well as maximize duration to keep your duration up. And for our HP module, we will be using Battle of Stamina just because we want that extra duration off of it. Now if you don't really care about the AoE that you get on this build, you can replace skill expansion with the Synctium module. So that would be the Venom Synctium. This will give you a touch more damage, but I do think that it is much more worth running your skill expansion. So I would personally say keep the expansion on. The AoE is overall better. So for the reactor that you're going to want to run on KEELAN, it can be pretty much anything you want as long as it's got a few specific things. In the middle, as long as it is toxic and singular, then you are good to go. The main thing you want on the bottom of your reactor is going to be cooldown, and then other than that, if you were to get toxic or singular, you would be able to get yourself a ton more damage. So I would recommend getting toxic on the bottom if possible. I have skill cost on here, but I'm just using this reactor for this cooldown because it's golden. So yeah, that's pretty much all you're going to need for your reactor. Now for your external components, it's going to be 2 and 2 sets. We're running 2 pieces of Hunter for cooldown and 2 pieces of Annihilation for duration up. Of course, MP really does not matter on KEELAN, so the best bet on this is just getting yourself the resistances. Fire resistance, electric resistance, and shields and stuff. Simple as it gets. Just 2 pieces of each set is all that is required. Now for the Arche tuning tree. For the Arche tuning tree, I have gone with this. So I've gone with a little bit of extra HP on my tree, as well as maximum damage, as well as maximum cooldown. Now I have branched out to get myself a little bit of extra duration, which is going to help me out as well. So that is worthwhile to invest into as well. Now for the last 3 nodes, we're just going to throw a little bit of extra HP onto KEELAN just to make him a little bit more survivable. But to be honest, once you are zipping around, there is very little chance that anything will be able to kill you anyways. So let's get on into the last bit of this build. Now for me personally, I do use the Malevolent with KEELAN. You could use the last dagger, that would also work. Just change the mounting on your hand cannon. Change the mounting on your reactor to the according weapon. But I use the Malevolent with the exact same setup as you were to be using with Purge. I just think this does insane levels of damage. It's a great setup for your weapon regardless, as well as the substats over here. I just think the Malevolent is a great call, deals with elites very, very well. So that is the weapon I'm going to be using along with KEELAN. Now, if you were to use the last dagger as well, this is the substats on the dagger that I have. And then for your element, it would basically be whichever element you prefer. If you want to get crit damage on the top, it will work with all elements, but that is completely optional. In this instance, I've got electricity on my dagger. So make sure you're rocking Firing Fiesta for your unlimited rounds, and then you're basically good to go. So yeah, that is the dagger that I would recommend to use with this as well. So there you go guys, I've given you 2 choices. So now let's get on into the gameplay for KEELAN. So let's start off with some good or 400% with KEELAN. Now, if you know anything about KEELAN, he was prominent for being that Descendant that was actually insanely good at mobbing. However, he is best in a solo situation. And as you can see with this build, now that I never stop dashing, the solo aspect of his mobbing has just gone absolutely insane. Now, even if you fall and so on and so forth, all that sort of stuff, you can easily recover, because you're never going to run out of your second ability. That's the really big magic of this build. And even with this bit, you can see all the mobs spawning. I'm just dashing, and I'm literally one dashing into everything and absolutely ripping them apart. Now, honestly, I think the arcade tree has given KEELAN such a fresh breath of life. It is actually so much more fun playing KEELAN whilst he's completely infinite like this, and you are able to actually, you know, maybe break a few things like the barriers and go out of the map. But that's something I'm going to mention a little bit later in the video. You might want to have a look at it before it gets patched, because, you know, Nexon, I have submitted to Nexon that, you know, fix this please. So, you know, yeah, we're going to get that fixed. But as you can see here, nothing is an issue for KEELAN. In terms of time, I am flying through Forgottens insanely fast. Faster than any bunny would, faster than any Ace would. Yes, I literally said that. KEELAN is literally the fastest Descendant in the game for solo mobbing. You are not going to find anyone that can actually move faster than him. Even if you can clear the room faster than him, he can still come back and do everything else just as fast, if not faster. Now, this entire run on Forgottens could have been completed very much in under 2 minutes. Under 2 minutes sounds crazy to you guys, right? But even this gameplay of this run that I did right now is actually a run that ended in 2 minutes and 15 seconds. So, you know, this gameplay is still quite fast, but KEELAN could 100% be faster. Now let's talk about how he deals with the bosses over here. Now with KEELAN, you've got some options. You can actually use your weapons, the weapons I did mention earlier. And as you can see here, I'm about to fall out the map. No, I am not. Simple as it gets. Simply just jump and avoid. Simple. And with KEELAN, even if you are getting a little bit too close to the heat, you can literally just zip dash away from absolutely fucking everything. It is insane. He's a lot of fun, and I do recommend him highly. Now, like I said, you've got two options when it comes to dealing with the bosses. Option number one is zip dash all around them, all to them, left, right, all around them, all that sort of stuff, and that will delete their HP. Using a weapon is faster than this, so in this gameplay, I switch over to my dagger at the last second just because, you know, I couldn't be bothered waiting for my malevolent to reload. So, yeah, we finished him off, and even in this run, I managed to get myself well into the hello 200 millions. I can't even see the number. The number on my preview is insanely small. I cannot see it at all. But even this run is insanely fast. Under 2 minutes for a Forgottens run is like actually mental. So, you know, you can really push this time down. I'd say you could, and debatably, if you master your mobbing and stuff like that and use a better setup for everything, you could even possibly get this run down to maybe 1 minute and 1 minute 30 seconds, because I did waste myself a lot of time. Anyways, on to Sigma Sector. Now, for some Sigma Sector, you guys can see over here we've just got started in this mission. I've activated my buff, and you can see this. It is insane. I'm zipping through absolutely freaking everything. You can make it to the end of this mission insanely fast with KEELAN. Now, of course, KEELAN would be much better in solo because his damage output would be enough to kill all of the mobs. But even in public, KEELAN can very much hold his own. He can still do plenty of damage, and even when you are very much against the odds, he's still surviving. HP is really not an issue, especially when you are kicking with KEELAN this way. Odd mob left over, not a problem for me. I'll go get him. It ain't gonna take me long to catch up anyways. Now, even with this, you can see here, once we do deal with the actual mobs and the elites that spawn in, watch how fast I can get from this beginning part of this room here, so this phase here. So watch this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and KEELAN is probably the Descendant that could probably delete these the fastest. Had I had a Smithereens on me instead of a Malevolent, I would have been literally like two-shotting them. It would have been significantly faster. But you get my point. KEELAN is more than capable of just ripping everything apart here. It is absolutely great. Let me show you the final boss. So for the final boss fight here, KEELAN does really shine again with his options yet again. When it comes to mobbing or even zipping into every single one of the bosses, the elites, he's just a great Descendant of ripping everything apart. you can see here I am using the Malevolent, so you know, a little bit of back and forth gameplay. Once it comes to the final phase of this boss, once you start spawning in all of the mobs, I will just do the same thing. See here, my teammates and myself are taking care of him, and this is the second style of dealing with bosses that I was telling you about. You could just use KEELAN's dash to dash into bosses all the time. It will still do damage, not as fast as the weapon, but it's still worthwhile. Now over here, even though there's black circles, black holes that just do tons of damage to you, you can simply just, you know, boom, 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 take care of everything, done and dusted. Simple as it gets. Final phase of the boss. And then over here is when I was just like, you know what, screw it, I'm just gonna zip and then try to get the reload in. Didn't work, but yeah, you can see KEELAN here. And again, after a sub 3 minute run into the 200+ million damage range. Anyways, my preview is insanely small, I can't see. That says 193, I think. I'm gonna look like an idiot, but yeah, we're balling. Now let me show you the last thing about KEELAN that you can do with this. So let me show you again the second style of fighting a boss. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Easily zip around the boss. Now this is the other really funny thing that you can actually do with KEELAN. Now next on, please do fix this, add actual ceilings to the map. This one was a little bit slower because the mobs are way more spread out, so on and so forth. I wasn't really speedrunning this, just doing this as a test, but this is what you are able to do. Now with your stacks, you are able to zip up. I did end up running out of my stacks, so I had to go back down and wait for it to replenish all of my stacks so that I'm able to get halfway and then build up my ult. So there you go, you can see that I've got it active now for my third ability, and from now I can spam up and break open over the sky barrier. Now next on, please fix this. We need to have like an actual ceiling on the map, otherwise you are going to be able to just do this with KEELAN on like any map. And fun fact, you can actually very much do this on almost any map that's got a ceiling. With KEELAN, you are able to dash out of it. They have put security measures in for Serena, but they've not put anything in for KEELAN. KEELAN will bypass Serena's limitations significantly faster by just spamming his dash. So next on, please fix this, because you know, it's not very fun doing this. It's just for demonstration purposes, but you can see me breaking out of the map, escaping the sky barrier, everything. It's really not good. You should 100% fix that. But anyways guys, that's basically this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did, please do smash that like button. If you're new here, please do consider subscribing. I make plenty of videos on the first Descendant, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.